Breaking news out of the NFL, where the Eagles are trading linebacker Haason Reddick to the New York Jets. That is the latest from our NFL insider Jonathan Jones. Also, Justina Anderson is part of the deal. Philly will receive a conditional 2026 third-round pick, which could turn into a second-rounder based on sacks and playing time. Haason Reddick spent the past 2 seasons with the Eagles, was named to the Pro Bowl in each of those. It is another big offseason move for the Jets. Let's welcome in our representation of Jets Nation, Douzable here, who told me that Jets Nation is going crazy over this one. Why is this such a big deal for the Jets?
Amanda, this is massive, right? Not only did the Jets lose Bryce Huff, who was a player that was an undrafted free agent, developed really well with the Jets, had 10.5 sacks last year. He ends up going to the Philadelphia Eagles in the offseason. They lose out on Jadeveon Clowney via free agency. It seemed like he was dead set to sign with the Jets and ends up signing to Carolina. They end up getting Haason Reddick, who, for a man of 4 straight seasons, has had at least 11 sacks. That is hard to do in the NFL. And not only that, Amanda, it wasn't like they had to give up current draft compensation. They have to give up a 2026 third-round pick that can become a second-round pick. So you hear the Jets brash and everybody saying they're going all in this year with Aaron Rodgers, right? They've tried to fix the O-line via free agency. This was a one piece that was under the radar on the edge that was a major need. And boy, did they feel it with Haason Reddick. Rejoice, Jet Nation, rejoice.
You're looking up to the heavens. How fitting on Easter weekend, Lige. You mentioned that the Jets said they wanted to go all in. With moves like this, what you've seen from them, do you feel like they are going all in, and do they have enough pieces?
Yes, the one thing that Joe Douglas has done, Amanda, he's done a really good job of, is making sure that there's depth at every position. And that's where the struggle was for this team last year, is more specifically on the offensive line. They brought in Tyron Smith. They traded for Morgan Moses, who was in the building in 2021, brought in John Simpson at guard. And they have viable backups, whether you look at Jake Henson, Elijah Vera Tucker should be coming back this year healthy, and he'll solidify one of those guard spots. So when you look at this team, right, depth has always been the issue. Now, I think they still have some issues at the safety position when it comes to depth, but edge was a low-key need for them because they lost Bryce Huff. Anytime you lose 10.5 sacks to free agency, you need to fill that void. You would think Jermaine Johnson's going to take another step. Will McDonald in his second year, you would think, takes another step as well. But getting a guy with the skill set of Haason Reddick guarantees you get somebody that can constantly and consistently get to the quarterback. And if you know anything about Robert Saleh's defense, he likes to implore 6 to 8 rushers throughout the whole season. So being able to have that depth at the defensive line and getting a guy with Pro Bowl caliber skills like Haason Reddick this late into free agency via trade is a monumental move for the New York Jets.
A++ from Lige when it comes to the Jets. Let's talk about what this means for the Eagles losing Haason Reddick. Of course, we all saw the Eagles meltdown, losing their last 6 games of the regular season, 7 if you include the postseason. And for you, at least from what you were telling me, this isn't necessarily such a big blow for them losing him.
Yeah, it's almost like a trade-off right now. Bryce Huff is a little bit younger. I believe he's only 27 years old, and he's coming off a career year. They paid him in free agency, right? He's 27. I believe Haason Reddick is 29. So you figured something was going to happen. There was rumors that Josh Sweat and Haason Reddick could both potentially get traded, because let's not forget, Amanda, they also drafted Nolan Smith in the first round last year. So he's a young player that's ascending that they want to get more reps as well. So when you look at this Philadelphia Eagles team, it's a big blow anytime you lose a guy, like I said, that is consistently getting to the quarterback. 4 straight years of at least 11 sacks per season. But when they got Bryce Huff, they got a little bit younger there. Nolan Smith, you would think, takes another step, and they were able to work things out with Josh Sweat. So I don't think it's a monumental big blow for the Philadelphia Eagles, but shout out to Howie Roseman, because you can tell that he probably let Haason Reddick kind of choose where he wanted to go. He's only going to be an hour and a half from where he grew up, right? He grew up in the Philadelphia area. Now he's going to the Jets. It's only about an hour and a half away, and he gets to go to a contender. So shout out to the GM, Howie Roseman. Not only, I think it's a win-win, not only for the Philadelphia Eagles, but also for the New York Jets.
All right, Lige, last question here. I was just looking at FanDuel odds for next season. We don't have odds when it comes to wins and stuff like that. However, I will say Jets are the 6th longest shot to win the Super Bowl. This ain't about Super Bowl odds. What can we expect from the Jets this offseason, hoping and guaranteeing that Aaron Rodgers is going to be okay.
And I'm glad you prefaced it by saying that, Amanda, because let's not get it twisted. It all comes down to Aaron. He has to be healthy for the Jets to actually make a run in the playoffs. So when you look at this team on paper, and again, it's on paper. You got to go do it out there on the field. They've kind of plugged up a lot of those holes that they had via free agency. Talked about the O-line earlier. We know this is a dominant defense. It's been a championship-like defense for the last 2 or 3 years. That's exactly why they went and got Aaron Rodgers, because they needed some stability at the quarterback position. They went and got Mike Williams. We'll see what his health status is like going into the season. Garrett Wilson is an ascending young player, one of the top receivers in the league. And with that number 10 pick, they could potentially add one more playmaker. So when you look at this roster up and down, there is no reason the Jets shouldn't be in contention. You said they have the 6th best odds to win the Super Bowl. First and foremost, they have to get in the dance, and that is what is on the line for the Jets this season. They're all in just to get into the dance.
Not 6 best odds. That would be cute. 6 longest odds.
6 longest odds to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, as of right now.
What?
Of course, yeah.
That's insane.
Don't talk to me.
With this roster, no way.
Don't talk to me. Talk to the bookmakers. That is a discussion for another day. We'll see if they change it by the time we get to the regular season. Douzable, see the Jets helmet behind it. Congrats to your team. They're saying this is a massive move for the New York Jets for all things in the NFL. Look, it's the offseason. It's not ever done. You got OTAs coming up not too long. Of course, the draft less than a month away. You can scan the QR code to watch our crew or just make sure to download and follow.